Hey guys, welcome back. Today we have the old faithful Game Boy Color. I've got a few of these, but as you can see, this one has issues with the screen already, and we haven't tested it yet. So what we'll do is we'll pop some batteries in it, and we'll see if it goes for first. Right, put batteries in it. Let's turn it on. That's a good sign. Power light's on. What's not a good sign is the screen itself. You can see the Game Boy just behind it, but yeah, obviously we've got a polarizer issue there. And it looks like we don't have any sound. The power switch is a little bit dicky as well. And we don't have any sound. So, right, that's what we've got to look at. Obviously got to replace the polarizer by the look of that. We've got to sort out the sound. Got no sound. And we'll probably look at just cleaning that power switch as well. But yeah, let's get this thing apart. See what we can do. All right, these only have 6 screws here and 2 in here. 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. And they're the tri-wing screws. So what I'll do is I'll pop those screws out now. Right, we've got those 6 screws out, and then all you do once you've done that is you just gently pull the back off. And there's our main board there. Put the back aside. And here we can see the main board itself. Pull the power switch out. Now what we'll do is we'll remove the motherboard, and what we need to do is remove these 3 Phillips screws here. So I'll do that. Right, now that that's done, we just need to unhook the screen itself, and that's just a matter of just pushing up these black tabs on either side of this white connector, just gently like that. They go till they stop, and then all you need to do is lift the board up, and you can actually just slide the ribbon out like that. There's your main board done. Keys come out there. Now this is pretty good, looks in pretty good condition. Just needs a bit of a clean through here by the look of it. We'll clean up these button pads as well. They look like they need it. So what we'll do is we'll pop the screen out. We'll just pull these rubbers out and push these buttons over here. And again, what we do is we just give it the old little twisteroo gently. Just grab it by a corner and gently lift it out. It's just stuck on with the adhesive at the front. And you can see the issue we have with the polarizer. Yep. So what we'll do is we'll replace this first. To get the old one off, all we need to do is just get a sharp blade and carefully just go underneath the corner like that and just lift it. And then once we get started, we just grab it with your fingers if you can. Just pull it off. And we now need to get the isopropyl alcohol and actually clean all this glue off. Right, now I've cleaned all that up. It didn't take too long. What we'll do is we will get these little polarizers that I have here, and we'll pop one of those on the screen, get it looking like new. Alright, so what we'll do, just make sure there's no dust on it again. So that's when we get those little bubbles underneath. If there's a little bit of dust there. And then we just peel our little piece off here. Just peel the backing off that. And get this in the right spot. That's the tricky part. There we go. And just push all those air bubbles out. And done. What I find really good is just a microfiber cloth, and you can actually put a fair bit of pressure on these just to make sure there's no bubbles left underneath. And you do that before you peel off the protective coating on the front as well. This makes it nice. You can sort of just push everything out. like that. And once you've done that, then you can pull that top layer, the top protective piece off the polarizer as well. If you leave that on, it actually doesn't work properly, which is a bit strange. But yeah, peel that off and then that is done. That's ready to go back in the shell. Right, we've got the shell here. We'll just give this a, make sure there's no dust sat on the screen while we've had it aside. Give that another little dust, and then what we do, because we've still got the sticky part in there, we just pop that back in. And that's done. And what we can do is we can just push that, put that aside and start working on this motherboard. Right, first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to clean all this up just with some isopropyl alcohol, the toothbrush, and just give it a good clean. It's just a build-up of just dirt and little bits and pieces in there by the look of it. There you go, you can see the little gold terminals where the buttons touch are cleaning up quite nicely. I'll give that a clean for a start. And just get a handy towel just to dry it off. Yeah, that's cleaned up really well. Give that speaker a clean too. It looks like it's got something on it. I'll just give that a quick clean, and then what we'll do is we'll hook up the benchtop power supply, and then we'll start working out what we need to fix on this board. Right, now that we've got the benchtop power supply on, dialed it into 3 volts for the 2 AA's. Yep, that's ready to go. You can actually run the board like this without having to put the screen on or anything like that, because all we're going to do is we're just going to test just to see if we can sort out the sound issue first. So what we'll do is we'll turn that on, and you can see the switch. The switch isn't that good, so I think the first thing we might do, we might look at repairing that switch. Yeah, there you go. See, it's not working properly. So I'll just heat up my soldering iron and we'll get stuck into that first. Right, to get at the switch, we actually need to unsolder one end and lift up this metal plate. Bit of a pain because they have little tabs on the back as well that sort of hold them in place. So we'll give that a go and see if we can get this cover off the switch. So to do that, just put a little bit of flux on there just to help it along. Put it up in that position, and I sort of get my little tweezers under there and then just heat it up and try and get the thing to lift up. It can just be very, very fiddly because you need to sort of lift across and up. So, and you want to sort of do it without damaging the switch itself. Like that. There you go, I've just lifted off the whole switch, but that's okay, because at least now I'll be able to get this piece here off here, like that, and then I can just lift it up, pull the switch out, and I'll just resolder the terminals on the back of that switch back onto the board. You can sort of see the issue we have here with the switch. You can see how dirty it is in there. So what we need to do is we need to clean all that up and clean up the switch itself and then put it all back together. Right, as you can see, way cleaner now. Clean the bottom of 2 little contacts on that switch as well. So what we'll do is we now put this switch back. I'll put them back in there. And bend that back over. That should just clip down. And then all we do is we just put some fresh solder on that point, and I'll put some on the other point and just make sure it's pushed right down, and that way our switch is sitting nice and flush. Right, just hooked up back up the benchtop power supply now that I've soldered the ends of that back on. And now it should be Yeah, nice. No issues with that power switch now. Now we just got to look at this volume, because obviously that's not working. Yep. First thing I do before I the first troubleshooting thing I do is I actually spray isopropyl alcohol into the back of the volume pot and sort of just give it a bit of a clean up. A lot of the time that's all it is it's just not making proper contact behind there. So I'll do that now and then we'll test it again. Right, so I've sprayed all the sprayed that pot, given it a good dousing. So we'll turn this on. Yeah, it still looks like we've got nothing there. Just turn it the other way. No, we've got nothing there. Right, that's the first step done. Next step we're going to do is, without having to start pulling stuff off the board, is we look at the output for the headphones. There's a little connection here that can sometimes get a bit of corrosion on it in this part just here, and if that's not making contact properly, it won't make the sound go either. So we'll just do a quick little test. I'll show you how to do that with the multimeter, just to see if this piece is okay. Because if this piece is not okay, then you won't get any sound. And what it is when you put the headphones in here, it's a little piece that actually moves away from here and turns the speaker off, so it only comes through the headphones. And if that gets corrosion on it, it just never goes to this, never lets the speaker run. So we'll just set up my multimeter and we'll do that now. There you go. I'll just zoom down on that so you can see, but it's this piece here. And what we need to do is we need to see if there is actually, you put your multimeter on continuity, so it's beeping, and you need to go from this piece to this piece here on the side in there, just to see if we are getting contact. It doesn't look like we are. You can actually do it from the inside as well. So it looks like that might be our issue. We're not getting any, we're not getting any continuity between those two little metal plates that sort of sit together. So when the headphone jack comes in, they come apart, and that turns the speaker off. And when you pull the headphone jack out, it's meant to join and let the speaker join, but if there's corrosion in there, in here, it's not going to do it. So what I'll do is I'll spray that with isopropyl alcohol, give it a good little scrub with the toothbrush, and see if we can clean that up. I can actually show you in here, when you push on this, you can actually see that little metal plate moving away from here, which is what happens when you plug a plug in here. And it's just the contact between there and there that can sometimes cause issues. So I'll keep cleaning, scrubbing away and see if I can clean it up. Right, so I've given that a good scrub up. So let's test and see if we now have continuity in these points from there to here. And we do. So, all right, so that's fixed. All right, we'll give it a test and see what it does now. Okay, now let's try it out. Volume. Nothing there. Nope, still no volume. Right. Right, next thing we'll do is we will look at swapping out the speaker. So I'll just grab a little speaker and we'll swap that out and see if this is the issue. Now that we've fixed this part, at least we know we're going to get sound to the speaker. And if the speaker doesn't work, then it will be the capacitor, which is this one here. So we'll do the speaker first and see what happens. Right, so taking the old speaker off, just put in these little universal ones that I get here, which are very similar size. So now that's done, we'll hook up our benchtop power supply again. Turn this over and see what happens. Make sure that's on. That's it, was the speaker as well. That's working fine. Excellent. Well, that's that issue sorted. So what we'll do is we'll leave that speaker on there. if we did still have an issue, then the last thing to do would have been swapping out this 100 UF capacitor here, because that's the one that goes to the speaker. That would have been the last thing there that would have caused any issues, but seemed to be all right. What I will do, I've just noticed there's a little bit of corrosion, just a little bit of battery leakage on these back of these terminals, so I'm just going to clean those up, and then pretty much this is ready to go back in. Right, we've got our, turn that off. Right, we've got our front plate now. What I will do is I just sort of clean up these holes here, and I notice the buttons are quite grubby, so I'm just going to give these a bit of a clean up. All I do is I just get a little bowl with some dishwash liquid and some warm water, and then just scrub them up with a toothbrush, and they come up magic. So I'll go do that now and then bring them back, and we'll put them all back together. Right, so I've done all that now, so we'll just put all our buttons back in. They can only go in one way. I've given the little membranes a clean as well. Just line up on those posts. And what I will do, what I usually do, is just get a cotton bud and some isopropyl alcohol, and again just clean the back of these little bits here that connect onto the board, just to make sure we're not going to have any issues with any of our connections there. Done. And what we do now, get our power switch. Didn't clean that, did I? Just give it a little bit of a scrub with the toothbrush. There we go. Put our power switch in, and then get our board, and then we just slide the ribbon cable for the screen back in, and just push these little tabs down either side. Like that. And then put our speaker down. That should all just sort of slot into place, and then we just put our 3 screws back in, which I'll do now. Right, now that that's done, I will just hook up the benchtop power supply now, just to make sure that our screen is working properly. I'll turn that over. Oh, look at that, perfect. That's all good. All right, we'll carry on. Just remove that. Turn that off. And we'll just put our back on, which is here. Make sure that, see, little things like this do tend to fall out, so make sure that everything's sitting in place nicely. I can get my fat fingers to put it in place. There you go. Power switch is in, that's in, and this just goes straight on the back. There we go. I'll just put our 6 screws back in now. Right, done. Put batteries in, back cover on. Let's grab a game. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Let's give this a go. Awesome. Looks like she's all going. So, this up here so you can see. Yeah, look. Screen's looking good. Sounds good. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah, that's cool. Well, happy with that. So there we go. Saved another one. I'm going to the junk pile. A lot of people just would have probably given up on that, but as you can see, nice easy fix. Hopefully I've showed you how easy it is just to fix these things here and get many more years of life out of them. So if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing videos every week, and we'll see you next week.